Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Don't Bother at All. This story took place a few years ago. At the time, I was working for a window cleaning company and was paid a commission. At the beginning of the day, we would be given a list of jobs in an area and drive around until everything was done. Usually, the routes were somewhat random, meaning it was rare to get the same route twice in a row. Most routes had a large number of restaurants that had to be done before they opened. So usually we would have to plan out when to get to our job based on what time they arrived, so we wouldn't have to backtrack. The route in question will be called Springfield. This route also had two small pizza places in the next town over, Shelbyville, that were always included, because the company did not have any other jobs in that area, and Springfield was the closest town. Both of these jobs didn't usually show up until around 10:15 to 10:30, so I would often have to save them until all my other restaurants were done before making the 15-minute drive over. There also wasn't enough work on this route to justify sending two people, so whoever had it was by themselves. One morning I'm driving out to Shelbyville and stop at my first job at around 10:20. This job is cheap, consisting of about one big window and a door. However, the lights were completely off and no one replied when I knocked, so I left to do the other job in the area before returning at around 10:40 to see if someone is inside. At that point I get my stuff out and start cleaning the outside, only for the owner to see me and come storming to the door. In a very angry voice he starts asking me what the heck I thought I was doing. When I explained that I was cleaning the windows, as if it wasn't already apparent, he yells at me that I should have been there earlier. To which I told him what time I was originally there, that the lights were out and no one answered when I knocked. The owner assured me he was there, but that he just likes to sit in the back office with all the lights out, and next time I should knock harder. Lastly, before I left, after he refused to pay for the outside I had already done, he yelled that, "If you can't be here before 10:30, don't even bother coming at all." It was around this time that back in Springfield, my boss had picked up another restaurant that was about 10 times more expensive. But it had the same issue of people not showing up until around 9:45 to 10 to allow me to clean the inside. This meant that every time I had this route, I had to pick between a job that cost $10 or a job that cost $100. Can you guess which one I picked? Because this new place was so much bigger, even if I did the outside before they got there, it would still take me at least 20 to 30 minutes to finish the inside. Because of this, I wouldn't even start driving out to Shelbyville until almost 10:30. As a result, I took what the owner said to heart and stopped showing up. Also, because of some weird twist of fate, I ended up getting this route multiple times in a row. So this guy hadn't been cleaned for 6 months straight before someone else eventually had to do it. It became even funnier for me as during those 6 months we picked up a dry cleaner right next door to him that I would clean while staying just out of sight of the pizza place. It also somehow slipped past my bosses that I hadn't been doing this job, as it never came up. When my coworker went to go clean it, the owner apparently thought we had gone out of business or something, as he hadn't seen us in so long. Shortly after, he cancelled service altogether, then went out of business maybe another 2 months after that. The next story is called Don't Throw It Away. This happened when I worked at a convenience store many moons ago. The original owner, the woman who hired me, basically left the shift managers to run the shift. If they were out-of-date products, the shift managers were allowed to throw them away without specific permission from the GM or the owner. The GM and owner trusted the shift manager's judgment. About 6 years into my employment there, the original owner sold the business. The new owners kept on all the staff, but were basically told that the owners were in charge and the employees were to do nothing without permission. Even the shift managers were not allowed to throw away anything without the owner's permission. The new owners were notorious for recycling old, outdated food. It was disgusting. If they were outdated sandwiches, they made the employees take the deli meat off the stale/soggy roll, put it on a fresh roll with fresh lettuce and tomato and put it back out for sale. The same with outdated canned foods and such. They would make the employees cook the outdated canned food for the hot food bar. It didn't take too long for them to decide that I was throwing away too many products. Basically because I absolutely refused to recycle the sandwiches. I was told that I was not to throw anything away without consulting one of the owners first. I got a box and put everything in it that I was going to throw away for the entire shift. If I swept the floor, I dumped the floor sweepings into the box. Customers didn't want their receipts? In the box. Bank wrappers from the $1 bills? In the box. Remnants for my dinner? In the box. Every last paper towel I used to wipe down the counters. If I was chewing a piece of gum. Yeah, you guessed it. Everything went in the box. I marked the box. Do not throw the stuff away before the owner looks at it. After the first night of doing that, I was told not to do it again. I kept right on doing it. After about a week, the owner threw away my box, gave me a specific list of things I wasn't allowed to throw away and told me to stop it if I intended to keep my job. I didn't work for them long. They were selling illegal products that could have resulted in the staff getting arrested. Before I quit, I did get the chance to tell the owner that she needed to stop being explicit toward everyone and that she and her husband needed to quit being shady. The third story is called Don't Touch My Stuff. Many years ago, in a previous life, I was an investigator in a robbery section of the organization. I had a partner, Karen, whom I worked well with for the preceding year. I had been warned about her backstabbing behavior in other sections, but I foolishly ignored it. Leading up to the incident, she had been assigned 3 cases that all she had to do was confirm the facts of the case and she would have probable cause to obtain warrants. In spite of my reminders to perform the tasks, she waited until the 11th hour and then went on vacation without having completed the tasks. So I did it for her. She could now go to our judge without further action. When she returned, she was livid and accused me of stealing her work. I said if she had done that for me, I would have bought her lunch. From that point on, our professional relationship deteriorated and I recalled the warnings I was given about Karen that mirrored my experience. A couple of months later, our idiot supervisor mistakenly assigned Karen and me the same case. I made contact with members of the task force and spoke with the officer who originated the case. Karen overheard my last conversation and blew her stack, saying words to the effect of, "You are stealing my work again. I was assigned that case. You are trying to make me look bad." I calmly explained that the idiot supervisor assigned me the case and I showed her the paperwork. She would have none of that though. I offered to buy her breakfast and talk it out, but she told me to F off and added, "You do not do anything on my case without my permission. Do you understand?" So I relinquished the case. For the next month, Karen tried to throw me under the bus for anything and everything, going into the idiot supervisor's office and complaining about me. I'd get called into the idiot supervisor's office for a 16-minute coffee break or other such nonsense. Well, a huge case came down the pipe and she wanted it bad, schmoozing the idiot supervisor to give her the case. Rather than ask me personally, she had the idiot supervisor approach me to do the forensics portion. I told him that I was told to not do anything on her case without her permission and I didn't want to get in trouble or upset her. So I was going to need permission for everything in writing before I did it. I needed permission to pack the forensic kit. Exactly how many paper bags, plastic bags, etc. How many markers? How many swabs? I would need your written permission to enter the crime scene. How many entry photos? What distance? How would I collect each piece of evidence? How would I label them? I told the idiot supervisor to make sure she understood that, because I was not to do anything on her case without her permission. He scurried off and then returned a short time later and told me that she didn't want the case and that it was mine. The last story is called Don't Do It This Way. My mother-in-law got married fairly young back in the 70s, when it was still normal for the wife to do most of the chores at home. When she did my father-in-law's clothes for the first time after moving in together after the wedding, he stated that this, that and the other was not done correctly. Then he asked her if she could do things his preferred way, i.e. the way his mother taught him. Mother-in-law, wanting to be a good bride, tried to do it the way he said, but he came back with more notes on how his laundry wasn't done correctly. She then asked him to show her exactly how to do the laundry. So he goes to the washer and puts everything in and does the laundry step by step. When the washer was done, he shows her how to do the dryer. When the dryer was done, shows her how to correctly iron everything. She says, "Perfect. Now that we know you can do your own laundry, I can get the rest of the housework done." Almost 50 years later, she has never done his laundry. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.